why do billionaires, most billionaires, why are they unmarried? Most billionaires don't have wives.
The issue is that they are married, but it's difficult to balance marriage and wealth.
Do you want to be a millionaire, billionaire?
Yes, so that's why I'm smiling.
And you want to be married too? Do you want to be a billionaire?
It's not like they didn't get they usually get
Not really.
married.
Not really.
They usually get married, but they get
I
divorced.
don't want to see.
I don't want to be
For
a
me,
billionaire.
anything
No,
that
I
we-
just want 20 Bitcoin.
Anything that will take my family away, I don't want.
They usually get married, but they get
I
divorced
don't
along
want
the
it.
line.
Sincerely.
It's marriage is a huge job. I've not been married before, but
No, you have no.
You know, I've
I'm
said
not
this in a
married before.
podcast before about money, but then it's not this as huge as this anyway. But then, family is number one.
marriage
For
is a
me.
huge job. Oh. Not even the family self,
You know,
like
balancing
being
is
married.
very hard. Though.
You
Being
can't.
married.
You cannot.
So what's the problem? Is it like we don't know what it takes to be a billionaire or to work hard to get to it? Or is this the wives that don't understand? Or what's the problem? Why can't a billionaire have a steady wife and not divorce, or later divorce? Because Elon Musk is divorced twice or thrice.
You see,
Zuckerberg is divorced.
always getting to divorce.
Even Bill Gates that we thought was a role model later got divorced. Although I read about some things that are like politics in between, but just to add, to get away from tax and all, because they got divorced at an older age. So I'm looking at all of these, apart from only pastors, and when it comes to pastors, you can tell that because of the Christian values, their wives just silently sit there. Whether they're happy or unhappy, it doesn't matter. They just sit. But for most of these billionaires, is it the lifestyle that billions brings to you? Is it that you're too busy? What's the problem? Because me now, I want to be a billionaire and I don't want to lose my family. So there must be a way out of this rat race.
Men that usually want to be billionaires are very, very first thing first, they are ambitious. Second thing, they are extremely serious. Like serious with their goal, not like they are serious in personality. Like they want to grind. They find reasons to always want to work, even if there's no reason to work. They always want to add value to whatever they are doing. So that alone is time consuming. And wives always want my husband.
So that means the problem is the wife.
So my husband, if now your child has a soccer game, he wants to play football, and that same day or that same time, you've already fixed a conference meeting 4 months ago for that same day, and you will not be able to be around for your son's soccer game. Now it becomes an issue because your
How
wife.
is that an issue? Is he going to play one soccer game in his whole entire life?
No, but they usually tend to make it look like you are always not around, you are always busy.
So who makes it look like you're not always around?
The women. No.
Exactly, because if you are not always around, that's why we are in partnership. Your dad is not around, he's going to FaceTime you when we get there. Don't worry, he has already recorded the video for you. You cover for the man because you know what he's doing will still benefit us. And we go, why must you make the man look bad? Because if everybody is going to the baby's soccer game, if you now look at this, an average man doesn't really stand out to say I want to be a billionaire. They only stand out to say let me be able to provide for my family, and then the opportunities starts coming. Then the desire starts going. Most men don't have the desire to push. That's why I go every evening to a bar. You see men with their big tummies that are seated, enjoying drinking and enjoying whatever small money they have made. You get it? I'm really, to be very frank, I'm worried about the type of women we chunk out every day, because I see it happen to Guardiola, and I felt really disappointed.
My advice to even women, right? Because I can't say it to men, because I believe during the courting process, you guys spoke about your future, spoke about a lot of things.
The truth is, women will not show you that part of them. Forget
they
it.
always fake it. When it
They will
gets
not
to
show you that part of them.
now, I can't be dating a girl that always wants me to call her. It won't work. I'm not yet a billionaire, but why do you expect me to keep calling you every minute?
You will die single.
Yeah, I expect it from every lady, sir. They tell you I am different, I am like this. Don't worry, I will not disturb you. Just tell me your time, and you tell them your time. But here comes the big bang.
All right.
You are busy, they keep texting you. You're not replying, they are calling you. Reply now. I'm replying now. I just sent you a message. Reply now.
Now, this is it.
Are you busy today? Are you angry with me?
In this issue that we are discussing right now,
Yes.
it actually is disheartening that we are channeling this whole thing just to the women.
No, it's not like we are channeling to
female
the like
gender.
I mentioned
Now,
first that
listen.
men are very ambitious. Men
Now-
that want to be billionaires.
Now listen,
Eh-heh.
let's make this thing broad now.
Okay.
Okay. Now, no human being here on earth shows understanding. Nobody shows understanding.
Okay.
Now,
Please explain.
yes, let's narrow it down to the Bible. See, the only thing any human being can do, whether a relationship between a leader or a follower, or a husband or a wife, is submission.
Okay.
If you are waiting for your wife to get to the point of understanding you, it will never come to pass. So it
Okay,
is
that means if I want to be a billionaire,
if your
I'm-
wife must stay with you
Mm.
as husband and wife, the responsibility of that woman is submission. She has to be willing to submit to you.
How do you
understands
submit to somebody you don't understand?
Yes, it's
You
possible.
can
You
never-
cannot.
Genesis, nobody can submit to what they don't understand. The
Okay,
job of
like-
a man, you are not married, I am. Your job
That is what they call submission. Like you trust the person enough.
No,
like,
No, you have to understand it
You have
too.
to understand it.
So if you don't understand, there's no
If
submission.
you don't understand it, you will never submit.
Have you
Until
asked
you
yourself why
understand
Jesus
it.
didn't marry?
Say again.
You know, ask yourself why Jesus don't marry.
You ask him.
He's not.
I suppose ask him.
he's
We
not
read them.
among the
No,
templates.
we are supposed to ask him.
No, he's not among the templates.
Okay,
who
was that-
who
There
wrote
are
the
people
template?
that your destiny doesn't require marriage.
Okay,
Apostle Paul is there.
maybe mine.
Paul
too
is
does
there. Let's
require
not go
marriage.
towards this Bible.
I never can tell.
It's not because of what the women will do to him.
Wait. You say it's not in the template. Where did they put the template that you read it that you know is not there?
I beg.
You see
Let's
what I'm
not
saying?
dig
No,
this
but
much.
the whole
Most-
purpose
most-
Let's
of
not
the whole
dig this
purpose
up
of
because
the
it's
creation
not-
of man
marriage is not among the
was for
templates of what
multiplication
Jesus was coming to do.
and
Who
wait,
told you
what
it
was
was
He
not?
lived for how many
and
years
recreation.
there on earth? So
Share
how
the
are
whole
we going to
purpose-
get married?
Share the whole purpose of creation of man was for the creation and multiplication. So how is it not in the template?
That's what I'm thinking. Who said that? You people are assuming it now. You say Paul did not get it. How did you know? Where is the template? Because
I can
everything
agree
that
for
we
Jesus,
read-
so because I'm writing a
We
song now
know-
on victory.
we knew
So
what was coming
I
to
get
do.
to
Now,
I studied a
he came
little
to
bit,
do
so
something.
I can say okay, maybe for Jesus because his purpose was to come and die.
Wait, make una calm down. This ones, everybody's just always emotional when you talk about God and Jesus. Just analyze it properly. When Jesus was to come, nobody mentioned he will not have a wife or he will have a wife. Nobody mentioned, the only thing that was mentioned before he came was just that the temple will rise up 3 days and it will go down and then come back up.
We were told what he was coming to do specifically.
Yes, you can also come to save the people, and doesn't mean you can. He had a mother,
Yes.
he had a father, like an adopted father.
And he has brothers.
He had brothers from the
Exactly.
same mother. Nobody wrote about any of those.
Exactly.
So it is what we saw that we are now saying. But to say there is no template, nobody wrote any template. If Jesus had gotten married, all of us today will still know this is the pattern.
And that is why
It
he
is
didn't
what
get
happened.
married.
But it's not like there was a template for it.
It's the same thing we are saying now.
No. You know the meaning of template. What you plan.
Yes, we knew the plan. The plan was
There was no plan for his marriage or not marriage. That's what
we
I'm saying.
knew what he was coming to do.
But there was no
It was
point of.
written.
Okay,
Isaiah spoke about it.
wait. What did Isaiah say? Did anybody write in the Bible that he was going to learn carpentry?
No, it
No.
wasn't there.
Did anybody write in the Bible that was going to meet Mary the Magdalene?
No.
So which template are you mentioning? The only template is the purpose, which is to die for humanity.
That's what I'm saying.
Provided he dies for humanity, nobody stopped him from getting married. Nobody stopped him from having brothers. Nobody stopped the other mother to give birth to other children. The only logical thing I feel happened was if Jesus had children, some families may be worshiping them just like they worship Jesus.
Yeah.
So it's just normal. And I learned that from when TB Joshua died, and they said they should not bury him where people will go and be worshiping him. Because, people just like you so much. They see you are powerful and all of that, whatever they call that. And that's the only logical reason why I feel. But even that time, that was negated because Mary had more children.
After Jesus.
Till now, the Catholics still serve Mary, technically.
Yeah.
They still say, Mother of Mary, help us pray for Jesus, just because he's the mother of. Now imagine if Jesus now had a child by himself in flesh, or if he now had a wife. All of us will not even serve Jesus again. Is that their children? By now, Jesus' children would have opened podcast.
Simple. So it's not among what
It
he's
was
going
not.
to do.
It wasn't. You know, we are just the one assuming it.
His name
But
might not even be as
because they would have said
mentioned
Jesus
now.
once, Jesus Junior, Jesus.
He would have been praying through the brothers and all of that.
Or say the way we are going to Israel now to go and say we are going to Holy Land just because he came from there. Imagine if we now had children. So they would have even twisted it. Somebody will come out and say, "My father did not die. I'm the first son of Jesus." You know. So that's the technical way I saw it. But if you look at somebody like Paul, wetin Paul do, wey Peter no do, wetin Matthew wey born do, wey get wife, wey
And
Paul
Paul
no
did
do.
more than any of the
What you say did more is
More.
just by statistical numbers. For me, where the most important thing I love is seek ye first the kingdom of God and every other thing will be added. That's not in what Paul wrote, technically in that verse. If they wrote that in Matthew, and that is what I gave my life to Christ with,
True, okay.
that is the most important thing to me. I don't care about Genesis or Exodus or Revelation. You understand what I'm saying? So we can't say because somebody wrote 14 things. It's just like somebody saying somebody that has one child is not doing as much as somebody that had 7.
No.
It is not by
Statistically, the person you can't put the two of them.
If you want to,
it does more than that.
if you want to be in what they call the God mode, stop looking at things from statistics. That's the only way to do it. Most people, like for example now, Baba Akindayomi raised about only 20 something people in his church when he handed over to Pastor Adeboye. Adeboye has raised millions upon millions. Now, if you get to heaven, you are going to say that Baba Akindayomi did not do as much because statistics. No, God will give somebody who raised giants more than somebody who raised mediocres.
Even by male looking, we know that Baba Akindayo did, right? He did
Akindayomi,
much because
he was the one that raised.
Yes, now so we can't.
But we know that
Nobody can just say
Peter
that.
was a disciple of Christ when
Directly.
Jesus was